Hello, it's Lydia, and I like to do things the hard way so that you have a friend and know a little bit of what to expect. Follow along for more travel, mental health, and alternative lifestyle content. I'm just here to document my own life and adventures and hopefully inspire you to live your life to the fullest. But if you're here, you probably already are, so good job, I'm proud of you, and let's do it together. I did something I'd been dreaming of doing for almost 2 years. I kept waiting for the perfect timing, the perfect people, the perfect mental state to do it, but eventually I was just like, screw it. And I took my first fully solo travel adventure on the Coastal Starlight Amtrak train from Los Angeles to Portland, and then the Empire Builder from Portland to Washington. 3 states in 28 hours, and it was one of the best days of my life. I was definitely not researching jobs with Amtrak from the train. No, actually, I definitely was doing that. I loved it so much, I might have wanted to sell everything and move on to a train. It's just like going back in time, in the most incredible way. The conductor had the hat and the mustache, just like everything you'd expect a train conductor to have. And the train itself had all the things: coach cars, observation cars, snack car, dining cars, sleeper cars. And my favorite part, people interacted with each other. Over the course of 28 hours, I had 3 different people sit beside me in the coach car. The woman who sat next to me through the night told me how she was traveling because her daughter was about to give birth to her new grandchild. In the observation car, I sat next to 2 guys, one of whom I think might have snuck onto the train, but I'm not really sure if he did, but it makes for a more dramatic story if I tell it that way. He and the 17-year-old kid hit it off and talked for hours about growing up in Sacramento, family life, and how hard it is to sleep on a plane, and I quote, even with edibles. They swapped little trinkets from their bags. One was an artist and drew mushrooms in his sketchbook and asked the other guy if he liked the drawing, and gave it to him. Humans are just so fascinating. I love to people watch and see beauty in nature, so taking the train was ideal. If you like those things, oh my gosh, I think you would love it. I stared out the window for hours on end, just eating ramen I cooked on the train, drinking tea, filming out the window, and listening to music. There's this sense I get sometimes when I'm out in nature, or if I'm camping, or if I'm reading a really good book, when everything else just fades away, and all I have to do is be fully present in the moment I'm in. This was 28 hours of that feeling, that rest. There was nothing else to do but rest, and watch, and listen. The start of the trip was definitely a bit more chaotic. I started in Atlanta late at night and flew to Las Vegas, slept there for a few hours in the airport, which is an adventure in itself, and then caught an early morning flight to Los Angeles. My plane landed in Los Angeles at LAX at 7:10, and I caught the 7:40 a.m. bus to Union Station, but that gave me plenty of time to still get a matcha and some snacks before my train left at 9:40. Getting from LAX to Union Station in LA was something I was really worried about, but it was simple. There's a flyaway bus that leaves from LAX to Union Station about every 20 minutes. It's often late, so build in some margin and don't be concerned if it doesn't show up right on time. You can also track your bus through the app, which is really convenient. Union Station in LA, pretty sensory overloading. I didn't want to be in LA longer than I had to. The bathrooms at Union Station definitely smell like weed and aren't very clean. But once you show the ticket or your Amtrak ticket, there is a separate waiting area you can go into that's relatively clean and peaceful. I totally thought I was going to miss my train, and when I tell you, I ran. Oh my gosh, and definitely felt a little bit stupid when I got to the platform with spilled matcha and the train still didn't leave for like 20 minutes. But from that I learned that trains don't really leave early, so as long as the timing hasn't changed, which you can check on the Amtrak app, you're good. And once you're on the train, the conductor keeps you up to date on delays and such. This is the big bathroom. There's only one of these. And I don't have one in my car, but I have it in the car kind of next to me. And I just so much bigger.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come to a brief stop right on all red signals waiting for this freight train beside us to finish clearing up. They're just a little too long to fit into the siding. Should be out of our way here in just a moment, then we'll continue on further north.
Waking up on the train is an indescribable feeling. I actually slept pretty well. I just slept in the coach car in the seat, but it has a recliner. You can kind of lean back, and the seat has a footrest. So for me, as a short person, as a small person, it was pretty comfortable. I woke up pretty early, got up before the sun came up, before dawn even, and sat in the observation car. Oh my gosh. Drinking tea, watching the sunrise over the mountains, over the snow. It was a highlight of the trip. So a few quick notes. If you ever ride the Amtrak, sit on the upper level. It is 10 times better. Pack as much food as you can. It is expensive on the train. Also, don't plan to use the Wi-Fi if you can. You will probably be disappointed. It didn't work for me the whole time that I was traveling. Bring slip-on shoes. You have to wear shoes when walking through the train, but when you're sitting in your seat or sleeping, you might want to take them off, so tied shoes are kind of a pain. My two favorite memories from this trip to finish the video. In the observation car, there are double seats and single seats. A lot of what I filmed is from the observation car. But I had a single seat in the corner, and there was a lady sitting in a double seat next to me. And when I got up to go take a nap, she asked if she could have my seat. When I came back a few hours later, she looked over to me and asked, "Oh, do you want your seat back?" I never expected her to remember me, much less offer to let me have my seat back. I'll remember her and how she remembered me for a long time. And the grandma, who sat next to me in the observation car my first night. We had all shared a laugh when her daughter and grandson were playing Heads Up, and she was describing the word honeymoon as the place a couple goes after their wedding, and the little boy guessed, the White House? But as she left the car that night, she made a point to tap me on the shoulder and say goodnight. People inspire me in life, and when humans go out of their way to be kind, it makes my day. It makes my life. There's so much beauty just outside of our comfort zones. I like to say I do things the hard way, but my dad says I do it the embodied way, the jump in the deep end way, the figure it out as I go way, the I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but it feels right way. You're invited. Let's live life the embodied way together. Until next time.